Hearing from my brother with his amended response to me in his second letter, especially compared to my memories of him and from his first letter, has sort of lifted my spirit. I actually feel like I have a family outside of my own again. Yes, I have cousins here in Skyrim that I have not seen since I was a child, but they don't really know me, nor I them, and they are inconsequential to me. But my brother and his family wanting me to come visit with my family. That feels like a part of me that was empty before is now whole. Unfortunately, who knows if I can go to Kvatch anytime soon. Also, if Alduin is sending dragons after me, I cannot see it being much of a stretch that those dragons wouldn't follow me into Cyrodiil, and the last thing I would want is for dragons to target Kvatch. Though we have yet to see a dragon directly attack a city, I wouldn't put it past them to start. I've been to Kvatch before, when I was in the Legion, though it wasn't anything that special to me, especially since I used to live in the Imperial City as a late teen. Kvatch, I hear, was destroyed in the Oblivion Crisis at the end of the Third Era, so over 200 years ago. It's all been rebuilt since, but it was also taken and occupied by the Aldmeri Imperium in the Great War. In both cases, I hear a lot of lives were lost. A city with a track record like that, well, I don't think I'd want to live there to see the next crisis. Give me a home outside of a city, like in Lakeview Manor, where I am working on my current home, away from the danger of invasion, destruction, and enemy armies. Though of course, even out where Lakeview Manor is, bad things can still happen, so I'm not under the belief that it cannot. Silverfish Falls, where I had my family. They had under 1,000 people and it was sacked and mostly destroyed. So you see, well, I have nothing more to add to that. I am finally continuing my schoolwork, so to speak, that I started with my apprentice mage training at the College of Winterhold. We are going to Saarthal to see what Master Tolfdir is wanting there. Saarthal was the first city established by the Nords from Atmora, and it is very old, around 5,000 years. Auntie told me of an excavation there to see what can be discovered, and this was about 15 years ago, referring to what was started years before that, so it's been going on for a while. I wonder if we will discover anything important, or if it's just a way of continuing our education as mages and it will be sort of boring. We'll have to see. I've never been there before, so it might be interesting just getting there. Ranmir, the one who lost his love that he was engaged with. Now he's a drunkard without any clothes here in the Winterhold Tavern. I spoke with Vex about your lost love, Isabel.
Huh? Sure you did.
I did?
Dagur put you up to this? It don't matter now. None of it does. Just leave me be.
That's how you want to end it.
Frozen hearth. For one of the only remaining buildings in Winterhold, it sure looks all right.
Oh yeah.
Care to have a drink with me?
Ugh. This is what you've been reduced to, Ranmir.
Need something?
Who are you?
Does my face look bothered?
Okay.
Be careful.
I'd like to rent your
If your business with the
room.
college, you're welcome to stay here. It's where most of our business comes from, in fact.
I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Yeah, I don't know
I'll show you
about
to your room.
inquiring anymore.
Right this way.
I think it's kind of finished, but I can look at my journal to see if I had any notes.
Have anything interesting to tell me?
Nah. Get me another drink.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Okay, normally I wouldn't mind having a woman stay in the room with me, but I'm married and brought my own. Why are you in here?
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? And who among us could possibly hold that honor?
I'm not sleeping here if
Such
you're gonna sit
power.
right there. Hey, who are you?
Hard to believe I ever complained about Riften being cold.
Well, that's true. Alright, well, I've got the book to read, but there's not even You're sitting where I would like to sit.
I found final lesson at the booksellers. Haven't had
Fusro Da might solve this. But it won't solve it with everybody blocking the entrance to the room.
I say, you didn't hear any loud noise.
I wonder if the librarian at Cyrodiil leaves all the cleaning duties to a single apprentice.
Haven't I seen you at the college?
No, I certainly
Some people
didn't.
here aren't too fond of mages,
you're asking.
but I just handle books.
Certainly not.
Hmm.
A small
Okay.
experiment may have gone
Alright then.
clearly with no discernible consequences.
There's books here. Baron Zaya.
And is this
Nothing
something
that
I'll
I
need
haven't
to worry
seen
about in the
1,000 times before.
Yes?
I hope not. That would be
Right,
quite
well, I'll
unfortunate.
try to get that room cleared up so we can sleep.
riding on the back of the dragon.
Ugh.
You really expect me to take you seriously?
Oh, fancy that I meet you here, Olivia Moronin. I have news regarding your assistant. I guess everybody from the college comes here.
Well done. What have you learned?
I'm afraid Jadro Ra is dead.
That is unfortunate. He was a good mage. Were you able to procure any information at all?
You're right, he was a good mage.
There were those who questioned my wits when I showed up with that beggar. Yet I do not judge those on their beginnings, regardless of how humble. I did not err in selecting Jadro Ra as one of my students, nor making him my assistant. I can only hope I have not failed him as an instructor. Apropos of that, you still have not addressed the question of the missing pages.
He was able to procure these notes.
Let me see those. This is precisely what we needed. You have done admirably, as did my assistant in delivering these to you. Now that you are entrenched in this matter, I have
am?
no doubt that you are the only one capable of pursuing it to the end.
What now?
This is far more perilous than the previous job, but I believe you will reward my confidence in you.
Alright, what comes next?
As you may have guessed, the 5 locations listed are likely secluded areas where the mages can conduct their individual research. 1 mage for each school of magic. To defeat them will require skill and cunning, and an understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of each art. The notes will provide their locations, and you can consult me for any advice regarding their procurement. Do you have any questions before you go?
I didn't realize I was being sent on another quest all across Skyrim. Right, well, I do have questions regarding the different schools of magic.
Indeed you must. I will offer any assistance I can.
Tell me about the conjurers.
It is a mistake to assume the conjurer hides behind the beasts he summons. For such a mage can conjure a dagger as easily as a Dremora. There are those who conjure Artronox to support them from the rear, whereas others will conjure bows to lend aid to their armies.
I see.
When you enter their chamber, take note of the bodies strewn about, as they are weapons hoisted on a rack, to be retrieved at the time of battle.
I know that's from
However,
Serena.
like any weapon, they are slaves to the one who wields them, and are as much a tool as they are a foe.
Tell me about the illusion mages.
An illusionist attacks the mind. He plays the drums of courage and fear to convince both you and the bandits that they are invincible. Illusion can fool your eyes, become your heart's greatest desire, but it cannot fool all the senses, and that is where you will find truth. However, the greatest illusion is not the product of any spell. It is the doubt one has in the efficacy of illusion magic. Do not underestimate the illusion mage. That is my advice to you.
Destruction mages, that's pretty clear what they'd be like, but tell me about them.
The name Destruction implies havoc, and while such magic is capable of immense damage, it is not as inelegant as one might presume. Lightning, ice, and fire. Each element has applications beyond the inflicting of pain. A bolt of lightning can disarm a trained mage, sapping him of his magicka. The swiftest runner will find it difficult to wade through briars of ice. Flames will turn your own tunic into a weapon, draining your health as it burns through your skin. To defeat a master of destruction magic, one must use their wards wisely. for there is more than just health one must account for.
Tell me about alteration mages.
To know that reality is a falsehood is the essence of alteration magic. While illusion affects only the caster and the target, alteration is to change the very fabric of our world, so that all are affected. Alteration can be used to blind your opponent with mage light, or turn your flesh into steel. It is a magic that prevents stealth, as a mage can detect your presence while cloaking his own. Alteration does not have an offensive spell. What it does is use endurance as a weapon. Whether it be with potions of health, stamina, or magicka, one must be prepared for a long fight.
And lastly, tell me about restoration mages.
The most infuriating of opponents. For every blow you strike, every spell you cast, is nullified by their unyielding ability to heal. Moreover, when such a mage is surrounded by powerful warriors, their strength grows by leaps and bounds, as all are healed that stand beside him. Such a mage will confine himself into a small area to increase the efficacy of his healing spell. However, this tactic provides an opening. Just as many can be healed, many can be damaged, and the cost of restoration is far greater than destruction.
That's all I needed to know.
Very well. Return to me if you seek my counsel.
Wait, let me see your face. An Imperial? Yes. Okay. Bye-bye. Right, is my room cleared? Nobody's sitting here in my spot. Time to read another book. Oop, also forgetting. Oh. Okay. The Aragonian Account, Book 3. By Wagan Jarth. Decimus Scotti was supposed to be in Gideon, a thoroughly imperialized city in southern Black Marsh, arranging business dealings to improve commerce in the province on behalf of Lord Vannick's building commission and its clients. Instead, he was in a half-submerged, rotten little village called Hicksonog, where he knew no one, except for a drug smuggler named Caro Gemulus. Gemulus was not at all perturbed that the merchant caravan had gone north instead of south. He even let Scotti share his bucket of trode. Tiny little fish, crunchy fish, he had bought from the villagers. Scotti would have preferred them cooked, or at any rate dead, but Gemulus blithely explained that dead cooked trode are deadly. Poison. Ugh. If I were where I was supposed to be, Scotti pouted, putting one of the wriggling little creatures in his mouth, I could be having a roast and some cheese, and a glass of wine. I sell moon sugar in the north, and buy it in the south, he shrugged. You have to be more flexible, my friend. My only business is in Gideon, Scotti frowned. Well, you have a couple of choices, replied the smuggler. You could just stay here. Most villages in Argonia don't stay put for very long, and there is a good chance Hicksonog will drift right down to the gates of Gideon. What? Might take you a month or two. Probably the easiest way. That put me far behind schedule. Next option, you could join up with the caravan again, said Gemulus. They might be going in the right direction this time, and they might not get stuck in the mud, and they might not be all murdered by Naga highwaymen. Not tempting, Scotti frowned. Any other ideas? Ride the routes. The Underground Express. Gemulus grinned. Follow me. Scotti followed Gemulus out of the village and into a copse of trees surrounded by veils of wispy moss. The smuggler kept his eye on the ground, poking at the viscous mud intermittently. Finally, he found a spot which triggered a mass of big, oily bubbles to rise to the surface. Perfect, he said. Now, the important thing is not to panic. The express will take you due south. That's the wintertide migration, and you'll know you're near Gideon when you see a lot of red clay. Just don't panic, and when you see a mass of bubbles, that's a breathing hole you can use to get out. Scotti looked at Gemulus blankly. The man was talking perfect gibberish. What? Gemulus took Scotty by the shoulder and positioning him on top of the mass of bubbles. You stand right here. Scotty sank quickly into the mud, staring at the smuggler, horror-struck. And remember, to wait till you see the red clay, and then, the next time you see bubbles, push up. The more Scotty wriggled to get free, the faster he sunk. The mud enveloped Scotty to his neck, and he continued staring, unable to articulate anything but a noise like oog. And don't panic at the idea that you're being digested. You could live in a rootworm's belly for months. Scotty took one last panicked gasp of air and closed his eyes before he disappeared into the mud. Between this and the flies and everything sinking everywhere you go and the Nagahiro men coming to eat you, this is why I will never go to to that province. Never. Black Marsh is off limits for me. It's because of this book, too. Alright, the clerk felt a warmth he hadn't expected all around him. When he opened his eyes, he found that he was entirely surrounded by a translucent goo, and was traveling rapidly forward, southward, gliding through the mud as if it were air. Skipping along an intricate network of roots, Scotty felt confusion and euphoria in equal measures, madly rushing forward through an alien environment of darkness, spinning around and over the thick, fibrous tentacles of the trees. It was as if he were high in the sky at midnight, not deep beneath the swamp in the underground express. Looking up slightly at the massive root structure above, Scotty saw something wriggle past. An 8-foot-long, armless, legless, colorless, boneless, eyeless, nearly shapeless creature riding the roots. Something dark was inside of it, and, as it came closer, Scotty could see it was an Argonian man. How could he see down there as it give off light? He waved, and the disgusting creature the Argonian was in flattened slightly and rushed onward. Gemulus's words began to reappear in Scotty's mind at this sight. The wintertide migration, airhole, you're being digested. These were the phrases that danced around as if trying to find some place to live in a brain which was highly resistant to them coming in. But there was no other way to look at the situation. Scotty had gone from eating living fish to being eaten alive as a way of transport. He was in one of those worms. Scotty made an executive decision to faint. He awoke in stages, having a beautiful dream of being held in a woman's warm embrace. Not a bad dream. Smiling and opening his eyes, the reality of where he really was rushed over him. The creature was still rushing madly, blindly forward. What if you slept through that, getting to Gideon where the red clay is? Gliding over roots, but it was no longer like a flight through the night sky. Now it was like the sky at sunrise, in pinks and reds. I don't know how he's seeing underground. It should be pure black. Scotty remembered Gemulus telling him to look for the red clay, and he would be near Gideon. The next thing he had to find was the bubbles. There were no bubbles anywhere, though the inside of the worm was still warm and comfortable. Scotty felt the weight of the earth all around him. Just don't panic, Gemulus had said. But it was one thing to hear that advice and quite another to take it. He began to squirm, and the creature began to move faster at the increased pressure from within. Suddenly Scotty saw it ahead of him, a slim spire of bubbles rising up through the mud from some underground stream. Straight up through the roots to the surface above him. The moment the rootworm went through it, Scotty pushed with all of his might upward, bursting through the creature's thin skin. The bubbles pushed Scotty up quickly, and before he could blink, he was popping out of the red slushy mud. Wait, did he see the mud? He just saw a spire of bubbles going up. I don't see it. Oh well. Two grey Argonians were standing under a tree nearby, holding a net. They looked in Scotty's direction with polite curiosity. In their net, Scotty noticed were several squirming, furry rat-like creatures. While he addressed them, another fell out of the tree. Though Scotty had not been educated in this practice, he recognized fishing when he saw it. "Excuse me, lads," Scotty said jovially. "I was wondering if you'd point me in the direction of Gideon." The Argonians introduced themselves as Drawing Flame and Furl of Fresh Leaves, and looked at one another, puzzling over the question. Who you seek? Asked Furl of Fresh Leaves. I believe his name is, said Scotty, trying to remember the contents of his long-gone file of Black Marsh contracts in Gideon. Archeen Rightfoot Rock? Drawing Flame nodded. For 5 gold, show you way. Just east is plantation east of Gideon. Very nice. Scotty thought that the best business he had heard of in 2 days, that was the best business he heard of in 2 days, and handed Drawing Flames the 5 septims. The Argonians led Scotty into a muddy ribbon of road that passed through the reeds, and soon revealed the bright blue expanse of Topol Bay far to the west. Scotty looked around at the magnificent walled estates, where bright crimson blossoms sprang forth from the very dirt of the walls, and surprised himself by thinking, this is very pretty. The road ran parallel to a fast-moving stream, running eastward from Topol Bay. It was called the Oncobra River, and he was told it ran deep into Black Marsh to the very dark heart of the province. Peeking past the gates to the plantation east of Gideon, Scotty saw that few of the fields were tended. Most had rotten crops from harvest past still clinging to the wilted vines, orchards of desolate, leafless trees. The Argonian serfs who worked the fields were thin, weak, near death, more like haunting spirits than creatures of life and reason. 2 hours later, as the three continued their trudge east, the estates were still impressive, at least from a distance. The road was still solid, if weedy, but Scotty was irritated, horrified by the field workers in the agricultural state, and no longer charitable towards the area. How much further? Furl of Fresh Leaves and Drawing Flame looked at one another as if that question was something that hadn't occurred to them. Archeen is east, Furl of Fresh Leaves pondered. Near or far? Drawing Flame shrugged non-committally and said to Scotty, for 5 gold, show you way. Just east is plantation. Very nice. You don't have any idea, do you? Scotty cried. Why couldn't you tell me that in the first place when I might have asked someone else? Around the bend up ahead, there was the sound of hoofbeats, a horse coming closer. Scotty began to walk towards the sound to hail the rider, and didn't see Drawing Flame's talon claws flash out and cast a spell at him. He felt it, though. A kiss of ice along his spine, the muscles along his arms and legs suddenly immobile, as if wrapped in rigid steel. He was paralyzed. The great curse of paralysis, as the reader may be unfortunate enough to know, is that you continue to see and think even though your body does not respond. The thought that went through Scotty's mind was, damn. For Drawing Flame and Furl of Fresh Leaves were, of course, like most simple day laborers in Black Marsh, accomplished illusionists, and no friend of the Imperial. The Argonian shoved Decimus Scotty to the side of the road just as the horse and rider came around the corner. He was an impressive figure, a nobleman in a flashing dark green cloak, the exact same color as his scaled skin, and a frilled hood that was part of his flesh and sat upon his head like a horned crown. Greetings, brothers, the rider said to the two. Greetings, Archeen Rightfoot Rock, they responded, and then Furl of Fresh Leaves added, What is my lord's business on this fine day? No rest, the Archeen sighed regally. One of my she-workers gave birth to twins. Twins! Fortunately, there's a good trader in town for those, and she didn't put up too much of a fuss. Oh. You're just going to go and sell them? And then there's a fool of an Imperial from Lord Vanek's building commission I am supposed to meet with in Gideon. I'm sure he'll want the grand tour before he opens up the treasury for me. Such a lot of fuss. Drawing Flame and Furl of Fresh Leaves sympathized, and then, as Archeen Rightfoot Rock rode off, they went to look for their hostage. Unfortunately for them, gravity being the I remember this. Gravity being the same in Black Marsh as elsewhere in Tamriel, their hostage Decimus Scotty had continued to roll down from where they left him, and was, at that moment, in the Oncobra River, drowning. Poor Decimus Scotty. We'll see what happens in the last book coming up soon. Quite the sight, look at that. I don't mean the bear, I mean Red Mountain. Oh, bears. Just make a lot of noise. Kind of annoying. Oh. Take it to a mage going to the college? How odd is that? Anyways, we've got to find our way to Saarthal. This looks like a Stormcloak, why is there a bear there? A Stormcloak, fort? Okay, well we're gonna clear out this way.
You're trespassing here.
And we're leaving, is what we're doing. That wasn't there before, that's new. We're lucky they didn't all attack. Although it would just be the annoyance of having to kill them all. I just heard a dragon. It happens a lot. Dragons on the brain. Killed a bandit on the road, and it's a orc. I want to harvest his blood. What do we got? Who is all this? Necromancers? Wow, look at them all. Hopefully there'll be some myrrh. Oh, they're easy to kill. Don't underestimate them though. There's so many of them. I can't move. Right, take this. Of course I have to sneeze when I'm taking a swing. That's you. Inigo. Oops. This is a lot of fighting. Are we done? Ugh, I can't take blood from ashes. Dragon! Whoa! I have to admit I did something not very nice with this dragon. And this dragon's now dead. Anyways, as we went away from where that fort was, you're right, my love. The fort with the Stormcloaks.
Thank you.
Oh, that feeling. I saw this same dragon go and land there and attack them. And I thought, okay, let it kill the Stormcloaks. But then it was really after me, so it followed me. I need its scales. Right, now we're looking for blood from the other ones. Is this a high elf? Looks like one. Harvest blood. Harvest blood, yes. Okay, well, kill a group of necromancers. The ones you turn to ash. Bit of a waste. The fight was all over the place. We got an Ultimer, an Orsimer. This is another Ultimer. It's got some fish on it, though. That I can use as bait when fishing. So I was a little bit mean with that dragon, but they hurt it a lot. I cannot see. This looks like another Ultimer. Oh, there's so many. Well, these are the bandits. So I got the Orsimer. Good luck finding one that's a mage.
Yes,
oops.
my friend?
Oh, Lucian, we haven't trained in a while.
What can I do for you?
Look at how bloody he is. Let's do some training.
Excellent. I've been looking forward to this.
Have you?
What shall we work on this time?
One-handed skills. Or wait, sneak. You need to get better at that. Wait, why don't you train with Inigo today?
All right, I'll go and ask him.
58, 59, 60. Ready or not, here I come. Lucian? Lucian!
What kind of training they're doing?
Where are you?
Boo!
Ah! That was very sneaky. Bravo.
Why, thank you. I've been practicing.
Okay, well I was going to train him in sneak anyways, and then Inigo did it. Don't know what... Dunmer should be easy to find among this one a Dunmer? Harvest blood. Okay, so we need... was Dunmer. We need wood elf. Okay, looting him.
It is halfway through the day, and we are still alive. I hope I can say the same tomorrow.
Well, that seems to be it. We're just missing a wood elf. The last mer. Right, so we're gonna go to Windhelm and take the horse carriage back to Winterhold. Because if you look at the map, it's actually quite easy to get there, but you just have to look for this. As soon as you get out of the city, this turn to the right to go up the mountains there. Otherwise, I'd have to go around this big mountain range, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Ugh. Alright.
My wife died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hope someday we'll get to know each other better.
Your wife died? Aren't you worried about dragons?
My pa used to say, there ain't no use worrying about the things you can't change. If it's my fate to be ended by a dragon, so be it. Meantime, I'll live my life the way I want to.
Alright.
Sometimes the difference between life and death is a swift steed.
I had expected Ysgramor's city to be bigger.
I don't like Windhelm.
Need a ride?
You look like you're dressed for the cold.
My carriage is the safest way to travel.
Yes. Take me to,
Where do you want to go?
Winterhold.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Got to find a way to get there. Okay, I think I see it. Right, that way. You would think I would know, but it's not. When I was young, it's not like I traveled up to the mountain range behind this place. Oh, we got a troll. Big, stinky, nasty, ugly troll. Oh, go. You can see it. Good, I got the fat. That and charcoal makes soap. Troll fat. Yeah, I was never allowed out to explore. Well, summertime, Auntie Ian would take us for walks up here. I just don't remember how... I don't know how to get to Saarthal. She never took us that far, but she took us in the area. One time, she took us down to see the ruins of what happened to most of the city. Where'd it go? I can't even see it.
Strong.
Oh, you're kind of raised to be in cold, like a Nord. Where's my horse? You're from Solstheim? Yeah, I do remember that. I just didn't know that this was the way to get to Saarthal. I should have remembered that there was a way up here, but as I said, I was very young. I mean, it's 20-year-old memories. Saarthal should be out here. What's this saying out in the ice? We can't. Really? No, something is wrong. I think it's right, like right down there. Gods know how I'm going to get there. There's a camp over here. Oh. That's just not good. What happened here? Why is there light above them? Wasn't there missing mages? This can't be the missing mages. What is it? Torig's Warhorn to Shrine of Talus. That's what I have to do for Queen Eliseve. Okay. Locate the missing college mages. Boriver and Rundi were last known to be scouting a ruin near the road to Winterhold, to the northeast of Whistling Mine. I don't think this has anything to do with what's here. pretty sure it has nothing to do with it. Oh, this is mage robes. Why would they take all their clothes off? Wolf Queen Book 4. Gold diamond necklace. That's the best necklace there is. Well, maybe they got cold and burned each other up. I don't know. They seem to be mages, but they took all their clothes off. Ugh. So, poor mages. I don't know what happened. Or maybe a dragon burnt them all. We've got to find a way to get down. Oh, these walls of ice. Come on, everyone. We need to go. I think this leads down to where we need to be. What's this? A Daedra. Whoa, it's not a weak one. Got him. Take your heart. I'm not going to wear a Daedra cloak. I refuse to do that. That's right, princess. Maybe the Daedra killed them. Well, there's people up there. There's somebody up ahead. It's supposed to be, yeah. Oh, look, there's more people here. We found Saarthal. Hello?
Hmm?
What are you guys doing here?
Well.
Oh, it's cold here. That enchantment seems to be tense up there. This place is quite extensive. Toftir, right? Master Toftir. It's been a couple months. Outside Saarthal. Lots of orcs here.
Yes.
I guess that they're laborers. They are working for the college. Look at them, though.
Yes?
Hello?
Got something to say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Disgusting.
Huh. Oh, look it. Is that not Ysgramor? Wow. That's a ship. Does it look like a front of a ship?
Never saw anything like this back on the island.
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Place.
Alright, we need to find Toftir. Obviously going inside Saarthal is pretty amazing place. So this was the first community, was it? Of Nords? Before the Snow Elves attacked and massacred everyone. Only one person escaped, so the story goes. And that's what started the, Where is he?
Keep up, Lucian, this way.
I don't know where he is. Where is Toftir? It's what started the war to get rid of all of the, well, Falmer, but we call them Snow Elves, I guess. The Falmer are those, typically, are those things that live underground that eat people or whatever they do. Ah, there's a group of actual mages there. I'll get down. Why wouldn't you make stairs that go straight down?
This is better than sitting around talking about magic, don't you think?
Oh, I remember you.
I'm not so sure we should.
Are you nervous about being here?
Why? Because it's old and full of dead things? Clearly, you've never spent any time in Morrowind.
Do you know anything about Saarthal?
Not really. Just that it's very, very old. It was one of the first cities of men in Tamriel.
It was the first city. What do you know about Ancano? That's that Thalmor person that's in the college that's watching everybody.
I know I don't like the way he looks at me. I can't tell if he expects me to blow myself up or to try and murder him. But he clearly doesn't trust any of us.
You have pretty pink eyes.
I find it hard to believe this excavation.
Gizargo? Remember you?
You know, there might be gold somewhere in here.
There's gold everywhere. You seem excited to be here.
Oh yes, Gizargo hopes to find things that will make him a more powerful mage here. Hopefully small things that fit inside pockets and will not be noticed if they are missing.
Yeah, I get it. I'm a thief. So these are all the students being led by,
This is exciting, isn't it?
I'm not so sure we should be here.
You're the only Nord among us. Well, besides me.
This is exciting, isn't it?
I find it hard to believe this excavation was approved.
You're not happy about being here?
No. There's no chance anyone in authority approved this. Our ancestors should be allowed to rest in peace.
I think that should be studied and taught to everybody. Why do Nords have a problem with the college?
Well, look at the evidence. Nords generally don't trust magic, so it's not off to a good start. Throw in the Oblivion Crisis, which was caused by magic users, and the troubles now with the Aldmeri Dominion, who are elves and magic users. And finally, take the fact that the college is the only thing left standing after most of Winterhold was destroyed. It's all fairly damning.
I don't see it that way. I guess I grew up thinking differently with my auntie teaching me.
This is better than sitting around talking about magic.
Master.
Don't you think?
Master Tolfdir.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education.
So, what's important about this place?
We're particularly interested in the prevalence of magical seals placed on the tombs here. It's rather unlike anything we've encountered.
Magical seals? So, what are we looking for? Magical seals?
Anything. Anything at all that might be of interest. That's why I adore this location. We have no idea what we're going to find. And if along the way my message about the dangers of magic should happen to sink in for a few students, that would be a happy coincidence.
Alright. Sorry for the delay, but I'm ready to go now.
All right. Please stay close to me while we're inside. It should be safe, but it's always better to be cautious.
You have two different colored eyes. That must be, rare. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen anybody with those. But I have heard about it. Something monochromial or something, I don't know. However you say it.
Just lovely. So this must be Saarthal. Decrepit, webby, and dusty. Just lovely. Keep your guard up. Just as with any Nordic ruin we delve into.
Alright. Missing the lecture going on. Oh, got something here. Got it. So I didn't hear what you said.
Be careful here. The site isn't entirely secured.
Okay. Now what?
Well, are there any questions before we begin?
I don't have any more questions. What would you like me to do?
Ah, yes. Well, why don't you see if you can assist Arniel Gain? He's one of our scholars, here working on cataloging our finds. I expect he'd appreciate some help in locating any additional magical artifacts here in the ruins. Any enchanted items will do. The usefulness of the enchantment is irrelevant. If you find anything, the class can look it over.
Tolfdir
Now let's see.
has
what shall we have the rest of you do?
unconventional teaching styles.
Why don't you search for warding magics? Anything designed to keep people out. Don't interact with them.
I sure hope Tolfdir knows what he's doing.
Please search that area over there. See if you notice any residual energies.
I was always taught to avoid these types of ruins. I think I see why now.
Ah, why don't you verify that we're the first ones here? Look for any amount of tampering with the tombs. All right, everyone. Let's be careful, but have fun.
Do you think there's treasure here? Something to make Jazargo a powerful wizard?
Well, I guess got to look. Is this silver? Iron. Looks like silver to me. You want me to find Arniel Gain? Find Arniel Gain. Uncovering his work uncovering the room. Well, I don't know where I'd go to find the Golder amulet fragment. Wherever the Draugr are, I guess. Oh, somebody died here. The pickaxe. Oh, this place was a city, right? The first one by Nords. Maybe it's really, really big.
Do you think there's treasure here? Something to make Jazargo a
Lots of it's still collapsed. Gotta dig through these hallways.
To think, my ancestors destroyed the homes of Onwin's ancestors.
I am sorry.
So much bloodshed.
Your ancestors?
Did you hear?
How do you figure? You're Dunmer.
To think, my ancestors destroyed the homes of Onwin's ancestors. So much bloodshed.
Unless you're just a dark-skinned, snow elf.
I'm not sure what I was expecting, but this isn't it.
There's no gold. Nothing shiny at all.
Don't sound so disappointed. You wouldn't be allowed to take it even if there was.
Like anyone would even notice in our dismiss.
Leather strips. Strange, this isn't an ore. It's some kind of, I don't know what it is.
Dead.
Please be careful here. The site isn't entirely secured.
Okay. Oh, you're Arniel Gain.
It's going to take forever to sift through all this.
Toftir sent me to help you.
What? Ah, yes. You. I remember you. You're going to help? That's fine. Just don't make a mess of my work. I've only looked through a portion of this section. You can look around in the chambers just north of here. Try and be careful, all right? We don't want to damage anything.
What was that?
So what do you need me to do?
Just round up the rest of the magical artifacts so that I can catalog them.
All right. You okay? Imperials. Excuse me. Blackbriar mead. Cooked brook bass. Oh, this is a very cozy room. There could be traps around. Lesser soul gem. I'll take that. How many ruins have I been through? Oh, look at the ring. You're looking for magical artifacts. Another ring. It's like I'm ring hunting. Right, little one, move. Don't make me blow everybody away. You know what? It would really help if I could see. Another ring. As I said, I'm ring hunting. There's Toftir down there. There seems to be a lot of people around the area. Why did I think it would just be Toftir? But oh, look at this amulet. But I should have known better. I knew there was an excavation going on.
That'd be great.
Well, this closed on
What
us.
in the world was that racket? Is everything all right?
I'm trapped in here, it seems.
How in the world did that happen?
I pulled an amulet off the wall.
Really? Perhaps the amulet is important somehow. Is there some way you can use it?
Well, let me see this amulet then. Saarthal amulet. I don't know. Well, let me put it on.
Do you see that? Some kind of resonance. You and the wall. It must be connected to the amulet. I wonder, what effect might your spells have?
I don't know.
Try casting a spell at the wall. See what happens.
Okay. Firebolt?
Ancient lords and their traps.
Don't push me. Whoa!
I hope we do not come to
Whoa!
a dead end in here.
Feel like a mage at the moment. Oh, somebody has been through here a long time ago.
I can't say I'm surprised. Next time, be more careful before you pick up one of those shiny things.
Let me give you some room.
Yeah, I need a lot of room, please.
There is no need to push.
Yes, there is. Toftir.
I'm not sure what to expect here. Please be on your guard.
Did you see what happened, though?
Well, would you look at that? This appears to lead somewhere. Let's see where it goes.
It just looks like a regular Nord ruin to
Why
me.
in the world would this be sealed off? What is this place?
Satchel. I'm gonna take all that old garlic, as hard as a rock and tiny. I don't know, Master Toftir. Can you... What is happening?
Hold, mage, and listen well. Know that you have set in motion a chain of events that cannot be stopped. Judgment has not been passed, as you had no way of knowing.
Oh.
Judgment will be passed on your actions to come, and how you deal with the dangers ahead of you.
Okay.
This warning is passed to you because the Psijic Order believes in you. You, mage, and you alone, have the potential to prevent disaster. Take great care, and know that the Order is watching.
Everybody was frozen there for a moment. It's like,
I swear I felt something rather strange just then.
it's like time stopped.
What just happened?
Some sort of ghost or apparition appeared. It spoke to me.
I'm afraid I didn't see anything. Can you tell me more about what you saw?
It claimed to be from the Psijic Order. It said something about danger ahead and the Psijic Order.
The Psijic Order? Are you quite sure about that? That's
clear he
very
said it.
odd. And danger ahead? Why, that doesn't make any sense at all. The Psijics have no connection to these ruins, and no one's seen any of their order in a long time. Perhaps we should take a look inside these coffins. Now, please do be careful. Who knows what we're going to find?
Oh, aren't they that ordered by Somerset that keeps on disappearing? I don't know where they go. Different Oblivion realm, maybe? So tell me about the Psijic Order. It's been years since I read about them.
They were a group of mages with a history that predates the Empire. Very powerful, very secretive. No one's seen them in well over 100 years. They vanished, along with their sanctuary on the Isle of Artaeum.
Yeah, that's right.
I have no idea what connection they'd have to this place.
Well, they're interested in what's going to happen. Especially me. So why is the Psijic Order contacting me?
I have no idea, but it's fascinating. Assuming it's true, of course. The Isle of Artaeum disappeared over 100 years ago, and no one has seen them since. And yet now, suddenly, they've chosen to contact you. Why, it's intriguing. If nothing else, I'd take it as a compliment. The Psijics have only ever dealt with those they feel worthy.
Okay.
Take care now.
You say you want to open up... Usually what pops out are Draugr that try to kill you. So... Oh, like this! I've been through a lot of ruins. Not excavating or researching, but... Yes, and that's quite normal, actually. I think it was Bleak Falls Barrow. That was the first one I've been through with Draugr.
This is simply fascinating.
You say that a lot.
Be prepared to defend yourself.
Ugh.
Until next time.
So beautiful. Hey.
What now?
I love you.
I love you too. But now isn't the best time for some cuddling.
What? You don't want to go off in a corner and cuddle and kiss and do
let
more?
me know if you need anything.
Ugh, she's kind of right. I would never do that in a place like this. Ebony armor. I don't usually see such nice armor on an old entombed Draugr.
Was that? You talked to the Psijic Order?
Yes.
I've heard of them, even back in my day. I didn't think they'd still be around, especially after I'd heard about what happened to Artaeum. I wonder why they only spoke to you, too, and not to Tolfdir and I.
I know, she's a very more powerful mage than I am. But it seems because me being the Dragonborn, I got the attention of everybody. Everybody in all of Tamriel wants my attention.
Fascinating.
Oh.
Watch what you're doing.
Okay, watch out. This is how it's done. Usually that works. Sometimes you get stabbed. Sometimes you have to complete a puzzle. Oh, I've never seen a place like this. Whoa!
Who's there? A grave.
Maybe because I can cleave enemies like you wouldn't believe, and I can kill dragons.
I've never seen anything like this in Nordic ruins before. Why, just look at all these coffins.
You're right, I haven't either.
This bears closer inspection. I'd like to stay a while and examine this.
You should have a whole team
You,
from
however,
this.
should press on. See if you can find whatever this vision of yours mentioned. But if it is truly dangerous, be careful. Go on ahead. I'll be sure and catch up with you before long.
Maybe because they know I can handle things that almost no one else can. That's why I get chosen by every Daedric prince and... Okay, well there's a chain here. Maybe it opens up this. But you're right, I've never seen anything like this. It's kind of amazing. The Draugr were keeping the candles lit. Where they got candles to last thousands of years, that's a different story. Well, maybe there's some kind of spell. Candles that never burn out. Huh. Well, you've been quiet. You have nothing to say? Like, isn't this why you came to Skyrim?
How are you doing, my friend?
What do you know about the Psijic Order?
Ah, you're talking about this mysterious monk who paid you a visit.
Yes.
I'm familiar with a little of their history. Not that there's much to be found. They're really quite mysterious. What I can tell you is that it was started by a group of Altmer rebels who settled in Artaeum, away from the main group in Somerset and Auradon. Their magic has always been extremely powerful, to the point that they're able to make their entire island vanish from Nirn at will. Members of note include Sothis Sil, Divaith Fear, Vanus Galerian, who started the Mages Guild, and of course Manimarco, the King of Worlds.
I remember that too.
The main point is, the Psijics are a big deal. For them to be involved with this probably means there's more going on here than any of us understand.
Sothis Sil was one of their number, huh? Well, I'm glad you're here.
Oh, there once was a hero named Lucian the Snug who was really quite scared and in need of a hug.
Good one. Inigo, any thoughts?
I'm trying not to wet myself. Can we please just move along?
You're really that bothered about being here?
Down here.
Redcap.
Greetings.
Of course, he doesn't know what's going on. Any place is like any other. Do you want another sweet roll?
Give.
Okay. There you go.
Moncha.
My love,
yes?
Serana. You have nothing to say about here? Okay. Well, let's continue onwards. Is it 2 pull chains?
Keep an eye out for traps. The ancient Nords could be tricky.
Oh, I know. I mean, how many dungeons have I been through? At least 24. Let's go in. Guess we're leaving Master Toftir behind. With friends like this, I've never have to be afraid of anything. I always have their... Well, typically, Lucian and Redcap have nothing to say, but Lucian helps, so does Serana. Ugh, I can't stop looking at her, she's so beautiful. My eyes are always drawn to her, sometimes it's a little distracting. Let's see what's ahead, shall we? It's nice to work on these videos when I'm doing better health-wise. Sometimes taking a break does help to renew interest in making them too. This will be a long series by the time it is complete. I don't expect it to stop for several more months. Most of what is left is the College of Winterhold, the Companions, the Civil War, the rest of the main story, and of course the Dragonborn DLC in Solstheim. So that might be quite a lot of episodes. The interesting NPC mod certainly has added to the overall length of this one, as well as the added Creative Club mods in the Anniversary Edition that I'm using. With what is left except for the Companions, everything else is pretty much new to me, especially everything on Solstheim, which before playing here I've never even set foot on, unless you go back to Morrowind. This is the furthest I have gotten so far, except for the Companions. I have done all the Wolf Queen quests and taken over a few cities with the original Civil Wars, but this is a different, heavily modded Civil War. Once it starts, it might be difficult to stop and do much of anything else, and I'm right at the cusp of starting it as soon as I start the next quest with General Tullius. Thanks for watching. Take care.